Hey guys, David Yeomans reporting live again from Houma, Louisiana, just about 4 hours away from getting clobbered by what is now predicted to be officially the strongest hurricane to ever hit Louisiana. Our records extend back to 1851, and there has never been a storm with over 150 miles per hour winds that hit Louisiana. We're expecting 155, possibly stronger with Ida today. I've got my handheld wind meter here. I was just recording some wind gusts. Of course, right now we're out of the wind a little bit, but I just got a gust to about 30 miles per hour on this on the edge of the parking garage. So the winds are getting a little bit angrier, but we're still not even seeing tropical storm force winds. You know, we've seen some on and off light rain. The eye itself is 68 miles over my shoulder that direction, and the storm's moving at a pretty good 15 mile per hour clip. That's how I get the about 4.5 hours from right now. We could very well be in the eye of the storm, quite literally. Let me show you something about this parking garage. This is actually why we've chosen this structure and why other people who are in less reinforced structures need to get out. This, and forgive me, I'm no construction expert, but this is of course concrete. This is some sort of rebar or reinforced concrete. This is the kind of structure that if you need to be here, it's the kind of structure that you want to be close to or inside of. Reinforced concrete, brick, those are really the only kind of structures that can actually survive a high-end Category 4 or low-end Category 5 storm. It's just incredible that we might be preparing for the first Category 5 landfall ever in Louisiana. Over my shoulder there, you can see Houma General Hospital with the windsock extended fully. Winds likely even gustier there, extended about 10 meters above the rooftop. And you know, this is what it looks like. If you look left, you just see this big mass of gray. You know, if you've ever been in a hurricane, this is what it looks like. You can't see a big storm cell coming at you. You never get the perspective of seeing, you know, like you do with a severe thunderstorm or a tornado. You can't get a spectacular perspective of that's what's coming here and look at it and you can see it coming. It's just a gray blob, and the visibility is going to get lower as the rain bands get more intense, and the wind gusts are going to get higher as the rain bands move in as well. Around town here, you can see there are actually a couple of folks driving around. The only people we've run into are other media members or a few storm chasers who are riding out this storm. A lot of homes and a lot of buildings that you're looking at in the frame there are not the kind of structures that are made to survive this kind of storm. That billboard will be demolished. The wooden power poles will be snapped in two. And a Category 4 or 5 storm can leave areas without power and uninhabitable for weeks or for months. So anybody who has chosen out to ride out the storm here, I fear will be in for an unpleasant surprise. So again, here in Houma, we're still right under the center line track for Hurricane Ida. Hurricane Ida has just outperformed expectations, and this has been a well-predicted storm by the Hurricane Center. We've known for days that it was going to hit Louisiana. We've known for days that it was going to rapidly intensify into a major hurricane. But this thing has rapidly intensified several different times, and it's quadrupled the official criteria at times for rapid intensifying hurricanes. What that officially means is gaining 35 mile per hour wind speed or more in less than a day. This thing gained more than that in 7 hours overnight. So it's really got a tremendous amount of power, partially thanks to the really hot Gulf of Mexico about 30 miles away from us. Speaking of which, it's impossible to ignore that the effect that climate change is having on hurricanes like this. The latest peer-reviewed research from folks smarter than I shows that climate change is making hurricanes in the Atlantic 10 to 15% stronger than they used to be. Not only is the warm water contributing to more intense storms, but the warmer air is contributing to heavier rainfall. The ocean level rise, which is up about 9 inches since the start of the century, or since 1900, I should say, that's contributing to worse flooding when hurricanes make landfall. So if you consider climate change's likely impact to Hurricane Ida, not only has it made rapid intensification more likely, but if it's added 10 to 15% of wind speed, that means Ida has 20 miles per hour more intensity than it would have in a world without man-made climate change. Pretty incredible to see the effects of this in real time and in real life. Okay, so let's look out this way. We've got a couple more light rain showers moving through some of the outer rain bands. Some of the trees are moving just a bit. You know, I fear that all these beautiful trees that have stood here for so long, they're not going to be here in the morning. They're not going to be here this evening, even by sundown. This is also going to be a daytime landfall, so if you guys stay with us on these live streams, I hope to show you the sun in the middle of the eye, which is something I have never seen in the seven hurricanes I've been in. Most of them have just happened to hit at night. So we could see a rare sunshine inside of Ida's eye. Down here a little lower, this is actually an above ground cemetery. As you can see, these are actually pretty common here in Louisiana because you can't really dig underground. It's just swamp and water. You know, I don't mean to get grim here, but I hope we don't see something like we saw in Katrina, where storm surge flooding comes in to a cemetery like this. We expect this whole town to possibly be under 3 to 9 feet of water, according to the Hurricane Center, by this afternoon. Storm surge flooding can displace these above ground graves. It can float these above ground graves. That's something, again, that we saw in Katrina, and this is a stronger and more direct hit in this area than Katrina was. So I sure hope I'm wrong. I'm just talking about what the landscape might look like a little bit later this afternoon. So again, the worst of it still certainly not here. We haven't even seen sustained tropical storm force winds, much less hurricane. But once things escalate, they're going to escalate very, very quickly. So we'll be here live for you all day, reporting on our on-air and online platforms. You can also follow along on social media, David Yeomans on Facebook and Instagram, and of course the KXAN News accounts as well. Big shout out to my photojournalist Frank, who is behind the camera, braving this storm. We just had some snacks, and I think we're ready to go for the worst of it here over the next few hours. So we hope to see you again. Thank you guys for tuning in for the live update here from Houma, Louisiana.